Evelyn had always been curious about the old cemetery on the outskirts of town. Nestled between ancient oaks and shrouded in perpetual mist, it was a place of eerie tranquility. Legends whispered among the townsfolk spoke of a ghost that wandered the cemetery after midnight, seeking something lost in its former life. Despite the warnings, the allure of the unknown drew her like a moth to a flame. One moonlit night, Evelyn found herself standing at the rusted gates of the cemetery, heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. The moon cast an ethereal glow over the gravestones, creating a landscape woven with shadows and memories. She pushed the gates open with a creak and stepped inside. As she wandered among the tombstones, the air grew colder, and the silence became almost deafening. Suddenly, she heard a soft whisper. Startled, she spun around, but saw nothing. Yet, the murmurs continued, growing louder and more insistent. She followed the voices to an old, forgotten mausoleum at the far corner of the cemetery. Inside, she found a diary, its pages yellowed with age. The diary belonged to Marguerite, a young woman who had died under mysterious circumstances almost a century ago. Reading the diary, Evelyn learned that Marguerite had been betrothed to a wealthy man she did not love. Her true love, a humble artist, had mysteriously disappeared just days before their planned elopement. Marguerite's final entries were filled with despair and haunting suspicions that her betrothed had played a sinister role in the artist's disappearance. Evelyn's mind raced as she pieced together the fragments of the tragic story. Driven by a newfound determination, she decided to investigate further. Her research led her to Old Town archives, where she discovered records of a hidden chamber beneath the mausoleum. Gathering her courage, Evelyn returned to the cemetery the following night. She found and opened the concealed entrance, revealing a narrow staircase that descended into darkness. At the bottom, she discovered a hidden room filled with paintings, the works of Marguerite's lost love. Among the canvases was a portrait of Marguerite, unfinished and beautiful. As Evelyn examined the portrait, the ghost of Marguerite appeared, her form translucent and sorrowful. Through tears, the ghost whispered her gratitude. Evelyn had uncovered the truth and freed Marguerite's spirit from an eternity of wandering. In that moment, the decades of anguish that had gripped the cemetery began to lift. The ghost smiled faintly before fading into the mist, leaving Evelyn standing alone in the hidden chamber, holding the diary that had bridged the gap between the living and the dead. Evelyn left the cemetery at dawn, the first rays of sunlight casting away the lingering shadows. She knew she had changed the course of the ghost story and, in doing so, brought peace to the graveyard.